Samantha's feeling rejection because Robert's light on affection.
He ignores me, he doesn't really talk to me, he doesn't hug me.
But she dated a giving guy.
He paid for me to get my navel pierced.
And he had Robert on the run.
I always say, you look good. You're too late, son. You're too late.
After Robert's date really rates.
On a scale of 1 to 10, you'd give her a what?
3.
I'm giving that to you.
That's 10.
Will he give his girl her props?
With that piercing, I have to give her a 5.
Or will they have a change of heart?
Chris Jagger, welcome to Change of Heart, and let me introduce you to our couple today. They dated 8 years ago, and she called him her first true love. However, he broke her heart. Yes, he broke her heart when he walked out of her life and went right into the arms of another woman. Now, 5 months ago, he walked back in, and they're here now to see if they're actually meant to be lovers for life. So please give a warm welcome to Robert Fuller and Samantha Henry. Robert, Samantha, welcome to the show. Robert, I want to start with you because after 8 years, what was it that brought you back to Samantha?
She's a lot more mature now. She's growing up. She's a good girl. She takes care of me. Everything a man would want.
So you saw a lot of good changes then in 8 years. And how about with you, Samantha? Some of the good qualities you see in Robert?
Robert's like really loving and sincere, really caring. I mean, I would come home from work and he would have a bath drawn and dinner cooked. You know, it's really nice. You know,
you can't go wrong there. Nice little bubble bath.
Not at all.
Now, those are nice qualities. Does he show those to you all the time?
Well, not lately. Lately, I've been I've been the invisible woman. He ignores me. He doesn't really talk to me. He doesn't hug me. He doesn't touch me.
Care of you. What are you talking about?
Has he got like an attitude problem about something?
No, like basically he'll say things about me that I just don't know where it comes from.
What?
Like out of the
What are you talking
nowhere.
about?
Hey, look, you better figure that one out because you're mean-spirited.
Samantha, well, what are some of the other things that have changed Robert if you had to put him on a list?
Basically, his house has been like a hotel motel, and I've been the maid, you know.
Oh, yeah?
And,
like the cleaning
yes,
No,
yes. And now it's not like that because last week he took the key back from me from his house, so...
Now, Robert, what about the fact that she feels these things? Is she good at expressing them to you when you're one-on-one?
Her attitude sucks. Yes. You know, every time I ask her a question, she's always being combative with me. You know, all I want to do is just take care of you. That's all I want to do. That's all.
Well, if you want to take care of me, you need to tell me how you feel. You don't express yourself.
Just don't bite my head off when I ask you a question. That's it.
Now, Samantha, what about some other issues? Are there some things that are getting in the way from you to commit totally to Robert?
Well, there's one thing. With Robert, I'll never really be first. I mean, he has a home and he shared it.
You're always first. We're together, you're first.
You shared your home with someone else. You have your children. You have the things that you want.
In the past. I mean,
no,
we have to look for the future.
I tell you what, if you're talking about the past, you need to deal with it then because you're living in the past. You're the one stressed out.
Wait, Robert, let me ask Samantha about this because you said that he's got children, so is the baby's mom part of the problem in the mix?
I have one thing to say. He got more baby mama drama than Bill Cosby.
I have a son. That's it. I have a son. He's my priority. I mean, he's first, she's second. What's wrong with that?
You put him first, but I tell you one thing. You got a gold-digging baby's mama.
Gold-digging baby's mama?
She's like everything.
All right, now wait. Let me get Robert's perspective on this because obviously she's concerned about your ex. Why do you think that is?
She's insecure. Very insecure. Very insecure. You know, every time I got to be telling her how good she looks. You know, she's always asking me, why are you with me? Why are you with me, Robert? I'm with you for you. I'm not with you for anything. I want to be with you.
Do yourself one favor. Do yourself one favor and admit to Chris right now that in the past month and 2 weeks, you have not given me one compliment. Admit
in the past 6 weeks?
Admit that.
I compliment her all the time.
You haven't hugged me.
She always asks me, like I said, she always asks me,
grab you to hug you.
why are you with me? I'm with you for you.
So Samantha obviously
why
does.
don't you express that to me and
do.
tell me?
Samantha,
no, you don't.
Those insecurities are obviously
I
a problem. Is that what brought you here today to do the show?
Well, initially that wasn't like the initial reason. The initial reason was because he just changed out of the blue on me. Like, out of the blue, I want him back. I want the old Robert back. He used to be sweet and sincere and loving, and it's in him. He's a real man, but he doesn't express anything. Of course I'm a real man. He doesn't express those to me anymore. He just completely changed.
All right, so that's easy enough. Then you want the old Robert back, and hopefully we can find him for you. If not, you know what happens then. Now, coming up, Samantha says she was so turned on by her date that she did something that even surprised her. So, Robert, I guess we'll all find out what that was when we come back. Stay tuned. Robert and Samantha. Now, Samantha told us she wanted to date a man who was kid-free, totally drama-free, and issue-free. So we found her a carefree guy with no kids who's totally free to be into her. Give it up for Kevin Sibley. Samantha, let me start when you first talked to Kevin on the phone. Were there some immediate differences between the two of the guys?
Oh yeah, Kevin definitely listened a lot more than Robert.
I listen to you all the time. I listen to you all the time. What are you talking about?
All right, so Samantha, he's a good listener. That was good. What about when you met him? Did you think he was a good looker?
Well, Kevin looked a bit different than I expected. I thought he would be taller. I thought he'd be a little browner. He looked more collegiate. He looked more collegiate than I expected.
And Kevin, when you saw Samantha, first words out of your mouth, what were they?
Thank you, Jesus. Chris, she's good. She's beautiful. I mean, look at her. I mean, tight abs. I mean, the breast. Look at these toes. The toes, Chris. She's bad. Oh, God.
So those are all good things.
So,
Samantha, he's telling us that now that he voices approval of the way you look when you first met him?
Yeah, he's really nice. He complimented my toes. He liked my toes. I thought that was cute.
Robert, I compliment you on your toes all the time.
Oh, come on.
Every time you get your nails done, I always say, baby, you look good. You look
You're too
great.
late, son. You're too late.
Kevin, let's talk about the date. What were your plans? Were you going to try to impress her, or what were you going to do?
Yeah, I took her on a horse and carriage ride around Central Park. It was nice.
Very romantic.
Very romantic. Her dad should take her a long time ago, and I thought it'd be a good surprise for her.
Nice touch. Samantha, there you are, riding around Central Park, horse and buggy. Did you like that?
Oh yeah, it was really nice. It was romantic, you know. It was snuggly, you know. We got to really talk. I mean, Kevin and I, when we spoke on the phone, we had so much in common. We got along so well. It's like we knew one another forever.
Now, Kevin, I'm thinking if you guys are talking this much all night, not lost for words, how about Robert? Did he come up in the conversation somewhere?
Yeah, he came up a couple of times. I mean, from my perception was that he was very selfish and he ignored her. He neglected his girl. So, I mean, what's up with that, man? Why you neglecting this girl?
I take care of her. I give her what she wants.
Oh, man,
I give her what a woman wants.
Yeah, but Robert.
A woman doesn't want to smell horse manure on a first date.
Yeah, but Robert, obviously she's not feeling it because she told you that earlier.
You know
Now
what I mean?
she's telling her date the same thing. So, obviously a problem there. So, Samantha, did Kevin say anything to you on the date that brought you guys even closer?
Well, he said that, I don't know what's wrong with your man, but you are perfect. I mean, I was kind of thrown by that because I've never been told that. And
I told you you're perfect before too. I've told you that before, Samantha. What are you talking about?
I mean, you might have told me that a while ago, but
I've told you. I've told you that.
You don't tell me anything anymore at all. You don't communicate with me.
All right, let me go back to the date here for a second. Kevin, what about some ideas for the date? Did Samantha have some interesting ideas?
Oh, yeah, she has some good ideas. She took me to this spot. It was a triple X sex shop. So it was pretty nice. I believe the homeboy hasn't done it in about 6 weeks in him. So she's feeling neglected. So
look. I do what I gotta do. Okay. All right? She doesn't need no toys.
Now wait, Samantha,
I'm her
here
toy.
you are.
I am her toy.
Samantha, here you are at this sex shop. Things get a little hot and
Sex
heavy, I would
toys.
think. Were you thinking about Robert at all, or was it all Kevin?
Yeah, I thought about Robert during the date. I started feeling kind of down, and I think my attitude changed a little bit. I got a little more depressed, and I felt like I wanted to do something. It bothered me that I'm here sharing like this time with someone who I don't really know that well, and he's treating me better than my man, and that really bothered me.
Yeah, it's hard to reconcile that sometimes.
Yeah.
And Kevin, could you feel that maybe things had shifted there?
Yeah, she was telling me she felt a little weird, but I mean, but the next thing out of her mouth was that she wanted to do something crazy, something, release all this tension. She wanted to do it. So she felt weird, and next thing I know, said she was horny.
So I need to know, Kevin, how she released all this tension that was being built up that she wanted to let loose.
She decided to have a piercing done.
Oh, yeah?
She wanted something pierced. I had a couple of suggestions what I thought should be pierced.
And Samantha, was he suggesting parts that you should have pierced?
Oh, he initially suggested that I get my nipples pierced, and I told him I don't think so. I do not think so. And then he suggested someplace else a little further south. I considered it and said, I don't think so.
You're like,
So
no.
he paid for me to get my navel pierced.
The navel piercing. That's not bad, then. Good compromise. Now, Robert, did you know that it was Kevin's idea that paid for that?
No, I didn't.
Had no idea. Well, there you have it. So, Kevin, you got the piercing. Was that it? Was that the end of the date? Did you call it a night?
Yeah, we took a train back home, and she fell asleep in my lap, and it was real nice. We cuddled a little bit, and I told her when she woke up that, you know what, one man's trash is another man's gem.
Well, she's my
think that's a
gem.
compliment.
Simple as that. It's my gem, bruh. Your gem? My
So,
gem.
Samantha,
Not no
overall,
What's
would you
my
call this a
diamond?
pretty good date?
This was a perfect date. I mean, you guys must have got Kevin from heaven because he's wonderful, but the date was so good that I brought you something. We shared some really good music, and this is Robert Hilton's poetry CD that I told you I would bring. And he autographed it.
That's
he
my
autographed it
friend's
for
CD.
you.
There you go. Nice. Yeah, very nice touch. Robert, autographed poetry CD. All right, so coming up next, find out why Robert describes his date as the perfect woman. You'll want to check her out next. Stay tuned. All right, we just got the 411 on Samantha's date. Now let's meet Robert's date, Nancy. Here's what Nancy says. She's got 2 words for Samantha, and they are chill out. She says that Robert was the perfect gentleman and that he started off their date by not only bringing flowers for her, but for her friend too. So please welcome the very confident Nancy DeSuze. Hello, Nancy. Good to see you. You know Robert? Have a seat. So, Nancy, what did Robert do, if anything, to impress you right off the bat?
First of all, Robert started off by saying sac passe. I'm Haitian, and I was so impressed that he knew how to say 2 words in Creole. I thought that was so sweet. He can say in Creole.
So, Nancy, did Robert have any guidelines for you before you guys got started on your date?
Well, I told Robert I wanted him to be pumped and excited to be going out with me.
You wanted him totally excited, okay?
Which I was. But,
Now, Robert, since we're talking about being excited, once you finally saw her, were you excited with the way she looks?
well, Chris, I first saw her. There was smokes, camera action, everything. She comes walking through the door. She's beautiful. I bring out the rose. I see her with she had on a sheer shirt. She had a little bra. You can see it through the shirt. Conservative. Very conservative.
It sounds like
But
it.
sexy, you know?
So conservatively sexy on a
Yes.
scale of 1 to 10, you'd give her a what?
I give her
3?
I give her a 10. I would give.
You mean
I
a
give
10,
Nancy. I give Nancy a
sweetie.
10. I'll give Nancy a 10.
10.
I'll give her a 10. Look at
You
her.
give her a 10.
She's gorgeous. Look at her.
So, Nancy, how about when you saw Robert? How about his looks? Did it make your heart beat a little bit?
I thought Robert was adorable. He was so sweet. He had a warm smile. He was cute.
Now, Nancy, we've heard earlier when the two of them were talking about how insecure Samantha is, at least according to Robert. Did he share that with you?
Actually, he did. He told me that Samantha had tore up some pictures of his ex-girlfriend. Samantha, sweetie, you need to relax.
Robert, we actually got to talk about the date because we don't have enough time here, but I want to get to that. And you guys were in Central Park and you were doing what there?
Yeah, I picked her up. You know, we get to the park. We're walking around talking. I was rubbing her shoulders. You know, we're walking, strolling. I could not keep my hands off of her.
Central Park?
I couldn't keep my hands off of her.
I suggested that we go to Central Park and play Scrabble,
When?
and you didn't take me.
Didn't you go? You went on a horse ride, didn't you?
Samantha,
like
doesn't
the
this
same
sound like the
room.
Robert that you used to know that you said you wanted to get back?
Oh, yeah, I mean, he caressed your shoulders and was nice to you. I mean, he used to be like that to me, but he's not like that. Overnight, he just stopped. He's not
And
like
Nancy,
that
what about you?
anymore.
Were you comfortable with what was going on? Him touching and all this affection?
Robert was a sweetheart. He was saying nice things about me. He told me how pretty I was.
I told you, he's like
he
that
was
the first-
massaging my
The first date,
arms.
girl. The first date. Don't let him get you. don't let him fool ya.
All right, Samantha. Samantha thinks you were on your best behavior there, Robert. Now, what about Nancy's attitude? Any problem there like you have with Samantha sometimes?
No, she listened to me. I spoke to her. She listened. She wasn't biting my head off every time I said anything.
I mean, Robert, you have like 50 issues in the world. You have every issue for everybody.
Relax,
I'm not biting your
relax,
head off. I just try to tell you, you know, hey, what's going on?
Bites my head off.
He,
Say, Robert,
he tells half the story to make himself look very good or to make me look intense.
I know you made that point.
I have a lot of energy,
we got to move along
but he
here
has to.
because I understand you have a picture, Robert, to show
Yes,
how
I
cozy
do.
things got. Can we see that?
Yes, sure. Hold on a second.
Little photograph here of their romantic
see
ways,
this?
nicely framed.
This is something.
Now, this is you guys, what, having dinner here?
Yeah, we're having dinner at a restaurant. I want to give this to you,
Wait.
by the way. But
It
we're
goes to
having
her
dinner. We had a
later,
good
I
time.
guess.
We're at the restaurant. We're sitting eating, and the guy's walking around, and we decided to take a picture. She came and sat right here on my lap.
So very comfortable. And Nancy, would you say Robert's thoughtful with the time that you shared with him?
He was so thoughtful. After the restaurant,
we went back to Robert's place.
You
and
took her to your house?
Wait a
What are you
second,
talking about?
Samantha. He was a gentleman. First of all,
I hear what you're
he
saying.
was a
I hear what
gentleman.
you're
Wait, let's hear what happened back at the house.
He was very thoughtful, gave me a tour of the house, and afterwards we got ready to go to a club. He ironed my clothes.
You are my clothes. Wait, this is a date,
That's
not
how much
your
I care
girl.
about you. I iron your clothes.
Oh, you know what? I
know
see
what
you
I mean?
care about me and everybody else.
All right,
everybody
Robert,
else
you're bringing
in the
Nancy
world.
back to the apartment or back to the house there. Were you concerned there might be pictures of
That's
Samantha, or
very
did you not care about that?
Well, I had a picture in the bedroom on the TV. You know, I showed that to her. But
Pictures.
I had a picture.
Pictures.
There's a picture in the bathroom. I had to hide that one under the towel in the bathroom because I didn't want Nancy seeing it.
Well, why did you have to hide a picture of Samantha?
Because it was in the bathroom. I didn't want her to see it. I didn't want her to be in the bathroom and worry about, Samantha looking at her while she was doing it. I hid it.
All right, I don't understand that, but
Oh,
we'll
that's
move
why
along.
that's why
Robert,
you asked me for the key earlier that day, so you could have the key.
you went dancing afterwards? Tell us about how that was.
Oh, it was great. Nancy, she's, like she said, she's Haitian. I'm Jamaican. She's got the little whiny thing going here. But Samantha, on the other hand, she can't dance to reggae. She got two left feet. Got beautiful toes, but two left feet.
I see.
Let's get on this
We
dance,
danced
yo. Oh,
all
man,
night. We danced all night.
What
on
about
our
you,
date,
Nancy?
so
Were
I
you
don't
impressed with Robert's dancing and his moves?
Well, I enjoy dancing. Robert, he
Makes it difficult for you to move.
wait a second. I will.
Okay, girl.
He had this, two-step. I thought he could do a little bit better since he was Caribbean, but he was all right.
Two-step. That's like in country music or something.
Hold down.
He's dancing to the beat of country music to
All right,
reggae.
Robert, what about some final fireworks though on the
for 9
date? What
years.
happened at the end?
We had a good time, like I said. We got back to her place, her girl's place. I gave her a hug. We spoke for a little bit more, and I had to give her another hug because she's just so adorable. She's so sexy. I had to give her another hug. I could not keep my hands off her.
So, Robert, almost too good to be true or not?
A little bit too good to be true because she said, I asked her, I said, why don't you have a boyfriend? And she said, she just gave me a couple issues
Because
that she has.
everybody gets
and
intimidated like you.
I was just wondering to
Strong
myself
women.
why she didn't have a boyfriend because she's perfect. I don't understand.
So that made you a little suspect. All right, one last question. Have Samantha and Robert grown closer together or just further apart? We're going to find out the answer when we come back, so stay tuned. During the break, Robert and Samantha each made a final decision about the future of their relationship. Samantha told us she wanted the old Robert back and hoped that he would actually realize that he has been neglecting her over the past number of weeks. So let's get their decisions here. Robert, we're going to get yours first. You guys have known each other actually for over 8 years, so you got a lot of history there. We sent you out with Nancy. You described her as like the perfect woman. You had a great date, but give us your decision.
Well, me and Nancy, we had a great time. She's a beautiful girl. I showed her like a lot of affection. I want to show Samantha the same kind of affection I showed Nancy.
So you say...
we were together 8 years ago, and I hurt her then. I don't want to hurt her again, so stay together.
So Robert says stay together. Nancy, sorry things didn't work out for you. So Samantha, let's get your decision now because Robert says he wants to stay. I don't know, maybe he learned his lesson. We don't know for sure. But we sent you out with Kevin. That was a whole different experience. You're saying that Kevin treated you the way Robert used to. You like that a lot. Let's get your decision.
Well, Kevin is a really wonderful guy. We'll probably be friends for the rest of our life, I'm sure of that. And Robert is he knows how much I love him. I'm in love with him. I care for him. But I am not willing to sit around and, not be talked to, hugged, or anything. I mean, I just can't take it. And I think right now Robert needs to be by himself and get himself together. And then when he's ready, I'm able. Change of heart.
Change of heart. Now, Samantha, I'm just a little bit confused. Does that mean you want to see Kevin again or just be friends?
No. Kevin and I will just be friends, definitely. But I just think Robert.
All right, so you two will be on your own then. All right, well, good luck to both of you. Thanks for coming on here. I know you guys have been friends for a long time. Hopefully, that friendship will at least endure our program here. You found out some things about each other that you needed to know. That is our show for today. Thanks to Robert and Nancy, also Kevin and Samantha, and we'll see you next time here on Change of Heart.